Hey, it's Ross.
And Joel.
And we are from Good Sauce, and the Orlando community means a lot to us.
Let's be honest, not every attorney that you hear advertising actually lives here in Florida.
Well, attorney Mo DeWitt does. Just Call Mo isn't just some out-of-state operation.
Mo knows Florida. I don't need to be an attorney to know that matters. When you're dealing with an accident, that local knowledge can make a real difference.
If you want a Florida injury attorney with deep roots in the state, just call Mo.
Injured on the go?
Just call Mo.
Just call Mo.com. On your mark, get set, go.
Your ear holes filled with saucy goodness? Well, here's Good Sauce with Ross and Joel.
Oh, baby!
It's episode 99, and you're back in the cut. Welcome back. Here we go.
Baby!
Episode 99 of Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. Hello, beautiful Central. That's my mic. Perfect. And welcome to Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. That is Joel. I am Ross Padgett. We have a very special guest today. We have Miss Amy LaCours. The crowd goes wild. There's so many things, though, before...
That was more of a growl.
Yeah, I quickly introduced our guest, but I didn't even think about this, is that we need to say thank you to Leesburg. Holy smokes, dude. I was out in Leesburg this past weekend. Tickets were bought off of rosscomedy.com. Leesburg showed out, and it made me feel like a way prettier girl than I am.
Yeah.
It made me feel really awesome, and I don't want to touch on it too much, but we definitely broke out some new merchandise. And
it was about new material and new merchandise.
Yeah. Talk to, a lot of these AI jokes ain't going to tell themselves, or are they?
They literally will.
They literally will.
They will write, tell, and laugh at their own jokes.
It was the first audience I've ever looked at and went, I'm so happy that you guys enjoy live entertainment, because we only have roughly 5 years left of it. But thank you, Leesburg. I had to start off the episode because you guys made me blush. That was
a good time.
It was such a good time. But now onwards to Good Sauce. Amy LaCours. I always introduce people as if people don't know who you are, so let me break it down. I love stand-up comedy and part of this comedy scene, and that's how I met Amy LaCours. But usually when you meet a comedian, they're like, oh, dude, I just smoked glass in a parking lot. What's this? I'll put my name on a list, and I'll tell stuff into the microphone. This obviously was not the case when I met Amy.
It is often like a work release situation.
So, Amy, welcome.
Don't know me too well. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amy, you still are a licensed mental health counselor.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I've been wanting to do this episode for a very long time. As soon as I started kind of knocking on the door of like, damn, dude, I'm having some different mental health struggles than I did at, 10 years ago. I looked at the world and went like, God, everyone's so happy. Why I'm so happy. Mm-hmm. And then I would see like an older generation and I would be like, why are they so mad? Why are they so angry? And now I'm 36 and I walk around going like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get why they're so mad. It's because this whole life thing is relentless.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, instead of paying for therapy, I'll just have the closest thing that I'm aware of come on over.
I love that.
And by all means, this episode, the ultimate goal is to hopefully help somebody out there who might be going through when you wake up and the first thing you feel is, ugh.
Is this the equivalent of you borrowing your friend's pickup truck to move and then you give pizza and beer?
Basically, but for mental health.
Yeah.
Right.
It's mental health instead of physical objects.
Yes. It's a
people do
pick-me-up truck.
There you go. Oh, I love that. No, I get it a lot. People will bring me over to their house. They'll be like, Amy, I'm feeling sad. And I'll be like, I just came here to do drugs. Just want to hang out. But I do love mental health and I love comedy. So thank you for having me.
All right. Well, my first question that I even want to just like kind of get into about mental health is that, so how many people have you interacted with in that like ballpark? I'm sure you didn't count throughout the entire time, but like how many interactions that you've had in the sense of mental health being the goal?
I grew up with mental illness. I have my own mental illness. I have ADHD, and then my brother has depression. So I grew up in my house with lots of sadness, and we made jokes about it. We made happy, silly jokes about it. But so, that kind of started my journey of like, okay, I want to feel better, but how do I do it? And so then I became obsessed with psychology, went to college for it and all that kind of stuff. And then I became a therapist. And when I became a therapist, my caseload, I had about, I don't know, 80 people at a time within like a quarter. And so I don't know how many people. Are you asking like percentage wise how many people?
I think you already answered.
Yeah, no. I mean, I just wanted to get an idea of just like what that. I mean,
We're not really that stat based.
I really want to get this answer right.
Exactly how many hours?
Well,
1 in 5 people probably usually have a mental illness.
I was going to say you've helped 1 in 5 people.
Yes.
That's outrageous.
You're welcome. Yes.
that's Facebook numbers right there,
Yeah.
dude.
She's the goat.
Yeah, you got over a handful, over $1 billion in the back pocket right there. So you kind of touched on something I would love to talk about right now, because this is a weird paradox that I don't know, Joel, if I've never asked you this, if you also experienced this, that you and your brother were making jokes. And I am a huge believer of that we are creatures of our surroundings.
Yeah.
And I remember great example, we had a comedian a couple of years ago. He was a heavier set guy, and everybody just would make the fat jokes over and over and over again. And I publicly refused to always I just was like, I can't get on board with that because there's no audience. We're just a group of friends, and there's a real thin line between like, oh yeah, you can make the joke, you go ahead, but if you do it 20 times,
Now you're just being mean.
and that's all you're contributing
And hacky
to
on top of it.
every conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a friend and comedic failure.
Yeah. So like,
We don't like that.
No.
I'm curious what your joking was like with, a depressed brother. What did you ever run into? That went too far.
Always. He was brutal. He still is. He's a goth kid. He would wear the full goth outfit with like the pins, and like he was almost like a mean girl goth. So I learned how to be really tough from that, because he would like make fun of me for being poor, and I'm like, bro, you're my brother, you're poor too. You know what I mean? So and like he's 5 years older than me, so you learn, like, they're Gen X, I'm kind of like Zennial, millennial. So I learned how to, we would watch Beavis and Butthead together. We would watch all that. We were latchkey kids, so we learned from the culture. And then we would just joke about being sad, being poor, having a dad that's an alcoholic, and that's just what we did. That's what we liked it.
And just to
It made me awesome.
And sad.
there is, I never know when the line is of when it comes to joking, because a huge part of comedy is kind of saying the thing you're not supposed to.
Right.
It is I think Conan O'Brien just said this about comedy, about how you need a straight line to go ahead and make jokes off of. If your line is a fire hose, he used Trump in the National Enquirer as a great example of that. It's hard to make jokes about Trump right now because the National Enquirer is so crazy and it's so out there. So the thing that you're writing, that joke about the president, well, it's not crazier than what's happening.
Right.
Right.
So
Everything's wild now.
there is a level of normalcy that is needed for comedy. And then when it comes to someone's attributes, and then I'm so paranoid of crossing the line when jokes become 51% of who I am,
Right.
then the majority of my life isn't reality.
Have you watched the Chevy Chase documentary?
No.
It's a really good watch, exactly what you're talking about, because he can't ever just not joke about it, and it's gotten him into some pickles and things like that. However, I don't want to spoil it, but he grew up in a difficult household, and that's how he knew how to deal with that. And someone was like, well, when you grew up in like a chaotic household, you know how to be cool and calm in a place like comedy because you're used to chaos. And
Yeah.
You're used to being cool and calm, and you're used to controlling the situation, because like if you grew up in a sad house, you know how to be hyper vigilant, and you know how to deal with everybody's emotions. And the same thing with comedy. You're really you're the conductor of whatever space you're in. So it really works well in comedy if you have a sad childhood.
Well, it hardens you, because I think that, just we were talking before we recorded, we're both parents and have teenagers, and
All three of us.
You don't have a teenager.
Okay, sorry.
He's barely got one digit in his stats.
I just get so
He's
excited.
literally one.
I'm just happy to be a dad.
You are such a dad.
I love that.
But you do not belong in this conversation.
I'll leave.
You can watch. No, everybody has to have an audience. Where'd he go? He's so light-footed. With teens, it's like if you have just, sweetie honey pied them for the first 10 years of their life, and then they realize that the world is very hard and very mean and will make fun of whatever you look like, no matter what you look like, and will make fun of whatever you are, no matter what you are. And if they can't take that, not that we should be conditioned to be attacked all the time, but you can't be too soft.
It's a huge part of real life.
Because when you get to the real world and you get, like, I always wonder about kids who can only focus in certain settings or whatever. I'm like, well, this is great that we can get them to where they need to be. I just wonder your thought, because you said about your childhood, and then clearly it's worked out that you have been able to take all of the things that are happening and still create a very successful profession for yourself and life for yourself. I just wonder if we say, okay, well, Timmy has to face the wall and listen to this, and then they can take the test.
Yeah,
How are they going to work later? And is that something that society needs to accommodate for adults? Because I don't see it happening for adults at all.
It's such a good question. Well, and it's hard because, like, coming from a bad background, I tried to give more to my kid. And then my kid couldn't deal with stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like I have to like course correct now. It's like, hey, honey, yeah, you can't just like be a jerk in any situation. And like, so I think it's a balance. There has to be accommodations. Yes. Don't be, we don't have to do what our parents did and leave us alone with
Nothing.
alcohol.
Nothing.
Like leave us alone with pills and alcohol and their parents who beat them. Right. So it's like each time now it's about being mindful and like, okay, if this wasn't great, let's try this. So like it's not one or the other. It's not one size fits all. It's some people like soccer school. Some people don't. You know what I mean? So it's like.
And that's just in my house.
Just in your house.
That was personal and very true.
That's definitely what's happening in my family.
So you kind of, I don't know if you did this on purpose or maybe it was accidental, but it kind of seemed like a glass half full opportunity for me is that you kind of threw down a huge pro of growing up in a maybe not so ideal situation.
Right.
Is that you do have a little bit of a callus that and that you mapped it over to comedy. I've always looked at the whole reason why I got into stand-up comedy is because of golf. Because it's an individual activity, and I have learned to kind of love the responsibility of if it goes well, that's on me. If it goes bad, that's also on me. I can't blame the audience. I can't blame another comedian. I can't blame a microphone. I can't. That's on me, and I've learned to enjoy it. That's kind of like what get my socks off. It rules. So But do you think? Is there any other pros of like let's just go straight to it. Dead dad, two dead dads on this podcast. And how often do you see that? Is there any pros in that? Or is there any cons? Or like I know the cons.
The cons. Well, how old?
1.
Okay, and then how old?
13.
Wow. So you never knew your dad.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you had to lose a dad.
Yeah.
So that pain may
During puberty.
That pain might be a little different. So that pain can turn into art. Yours more is maybe a loss, a pain of not having or grieving something that you maybe never had.
Sure.
I don't want to project on that for you.
I'd say that adds up. You're not shooting in the dark here.
And so either way, it's a hole that you're filling, which you don't know when you're young, right? So like I had a dad, but he wasn't there a lot and he was a big drinker, right? And he was a partier and he was fun. So it's a different kind of grieving, but it's still a loss and it's still something I'm trying to compensate for. And
Is passing or just
he's still alive. He just wasn't around during those formative years. And so I think any person that I know in comedy has either no dad or a bad dad. I'm telling you, like me and
a lot of people in comedy are currently being not there or a bad dad.
No, you guys are good.
Sorry, son. so
Where is he, by the way? Oh my gosh.
Oh, there he goes.
I think he's in my back
Those
seat.
pills, yeah. So I think, my friend Rue and I, we have her dad's similar to mine. And we just talk about that. Like, yes, it made us funny, but it also made us very broken and sad. So we have to do it. Like, I think when you have to do something to make yourself feel better, it does drive you, but you're still going to be sad. I don't know. It's not a good thing sometimes. Like, I have friends who are truly, like, normal and, like, they don't have to, like, get up in front of people.
Yeah.
And they don't have to, like, be out late at night and they don't have, so it's like, yes, it is a good thing. And it is I am a half full kind of person, but also I don't like to glorify it because I would have liked to have not gone through a lot of that, and I don't want my kid to go through that.
I mean, guilty as charged throughout my I would say the first 10 years of me doing stand-up and just entertaining and loving that responsibility of being someone's entertainer for the night. This March, I need you guys to discover powerful stories at the greatest museum in all of Central Florida. That's right, I'm talking about the Orange County Regional History Center.
Now, you can join us all month long for inspiring exhibits, community programs, and on Wednesday, March 25th, circle the date, continue the celebration at the 7th Annual Women's History Breakfast, hosted by the Orlando Pride, honoring women and teams who built Central Florida's sports legacy.
We thank our wives and mothers every episode on this program, and that's why we need to tell you about it, because this event takes place at Inter & Co Stadium, bringing together leaders, trailblazers, change makers, and for this unforgettable morning, you can go to thehistorycenter.org for more information. Go ahead and hang out with the Orlando Pride at Inter & Co Stadium, thanks to thehistorycenter.org.
Thehistorycenter.org.
I always thought, I don't get the stereotype of funny people and sadness. I was a little dandelion of a human being. There was literally, I don't think I had a bad day from the ages of 18 to 30.
Wow.
I legit don't think I had ever really felt anything like I felt at 31 to 36.
Wow.
And it was so odd coming to grips with, like, 31 was the first time in my life where I felt like untempered, raw sadness for a long, extended period of time. It was October 2020, and I'll never forget it because, boy, that's how I knew I was with the right person, because if she was able to get through that, then, because I had a good, month and a half, maybe 60 days of just staring at popcorn ceilings, not understanding the point of existence, or just like, why did I do this? Why? I think it was also partially coming to grips with, like, damn, dude, I only got good at talking jokes into a microphone and kind of coming to grips with, like, whether I like doing this or not, this is where the skill set is, and now we have to get better at other stuff to get more out of the skill set.
It was an event, it was an episodic event that caused the depression for you?
I think it was just age and seeing how many days keep happening over and over again, and that it's the same thing, and that, like, routine. I wanted to ask you this. I once heard that routine kills a human spirit. That, like, routine can drag our species down, and that it can speed up time. What are your thoughts about?
It depends on the routine, right?
Yeah. What are your thoughts about routines? If someone came in and they were really sad, do you just tell them, a vacation seems like a very good idea as well? Because I believe in that. I believe in vacationing helps mental health. But
I think it depends on your mental illness, right? For ADHD, like, I seek those kind of things, but also when I'm seeking those kind of things, that's dopamine seeking versus, like, really sitting in it and learning to be happy in the moment. And, like, routine can be beautiful as long as it's not, like, too tied to capitalism. That's the thing. I think it's whenever you have to commodify.
Everybody sip your Starbucks.
yeah.
By 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I think in capitalism, where you have to do stuff you don't want to and you have to kind of prostitute yourself, like, that makes it sad. Right? I think that's all of it. And when we have to do something we don't want to do, that makes it sad. But if you're waking up and you're doing a podcast and you're hanging out with your friend and your dog and your wife, like, that kind of routine is beautiful and lovely. And I think it just depends on your mental illness. Like, sometimes you need novel behaviors. Like, if you have maybe more of, like, an autism spectrum, you really want your routines, and that really keeps you safe. And then some people who have more of, like, a ADHD type temperament, they do need that novel seeking, but you can't do too much because you're not balanced. And then if you're always seeking, then you're never, like, living and being in the moment.
That's such a good reminder too of the if you are this, whereas if you are something else, that we're not all the same model. And I don't think that is just in society been acknowledged to the level that it is right now, to finally admitting on a large scale that we're not all perceiving the same thing. We are all experiencing this life differently, and that's why some of us think different things, is because I don't see it that way. And that's not that we're seeing the same stuff and then choosing A or B. It's just I'm in a whole different movie than Ross is.
Yeah.
We just happen to know each other.
And the best thing you can do is know yourself first. So like that's like the key. Everyone's like, oh, what's the key to mental health? It's truly understanding yourself first, so you know how you show up, and then
that's how it got me, dude. I'm pretty sure as soon as he said that, I was like, I spent 18 to 30 just being for other people.
Yeah.
And people pleasing.
Yep.
And saying yes because it's the right answer for.
And then you're just a dried worm on a bed.
I didn't know who I think I'm trying to spend the rest of my life trying to figure out who I am, because those things ebb and flow. I have thoughts that I had 10 years ago that I scoff at now. And coming to grips with that is also, it makes me feel like a farm animal. I always say this, is that like, I try to embrace my farm animal ways, because that's me also being aware of that I do need sleep. Or the thing that you said of just right there of that, like I didn't know who I was for all of my 20s. And I think you're supposed to, that's what you do in your 20s, right? You figure it out. You find out that your likes, your don't likes, and maybe attributes and people that.
Because in theory, no one's telling you what they are anymore.
Yeah.
In your 20s. You know, sometimes it happens for people in their late teens, and some people never. But in the script of life, I think that's what we're talking about, is like, that's when you get to go, no, I'm this person. I do this. This is my routine that my parents didn't tell me I have to do.
How dangerous is people pleasing?
bad. I'm a people pleaser, and I didn't know myself until my late 30s. I didn't start comedy until my late 30s, right? Because I was doing stuff for other people, and I was too scared to say what I wanted. And I get kind of jealous about it, because I think that's one thing when you grow up in a household that people aren't like showing you who you are, then it takes a long time to go out and figure that out. And like you're sowing your oats, which you don't even need to do. You just need to like look inward. And so I get jealous about that. And I hate to even say this. I'm not jealous of my child, but my child knows who she is at 14. She knew who she was at 9, right? And it's like, I wish I'd had that, so I wouldn't have spent so much time seeking outward versus truly finding who I was inside, because I feel like I just wasted a lot of time.
Well, but what a reward then to be able to provide that
Exactly.
for your daughter.
Right.
So that, you know.
She knows who she was.
Yeah,
she knows what she wants to wear. She knows what she wants to eat. And like for me, again, I don't think until I was like 36, I like pie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or like,
yeah.
I know what my husband likes. I know what my kid likes. I know what my mom likes. That people pleasing is not honest, and it's not truthful, and then nobody knows you, and then you feel like really distant from people because you don't know who you are, and they don't know who you are either. My husband still doesn't know what kind of coffee I want because I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not building intimacy. I'm building
Confusion. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I am. Or I'm building AI. I am an AI bot before AI, right?
Yeah.
Because like I just know how to make this person happy versus truly making myself happy, and that's not real.
Oh God.
That'll get you.
Sorry.
No, it's just because I've done so much of it, and by all means, I think people pleasing. You said that my favorite word when it comes to life, existence, philosophy a couple minutes ago, which was the word balance. And you have to find your balance. That's one thing that I have learned in my 30s. There is no one size fits all, and you finding your balance is also finding out who you are. And I'll say it into a mic, struggled a lot doing exactly that my entire life. Just now in the last 5 years, that's what happened in October 2020. Was like, okay, that's what I need to work on. Because this is not good. Am I just going to sacrifice my life for all of these other entities other than my own?
Yeah. Oh, that's huge too. Because in the throes of that, like when you're in the weeds of just people pleasing 24/7, you forget what day it is. You're literally just, I drive here, I do that, I do this, I do that.
You do a people
and you
pleaser too?
forget.
You do it
No, honestly, I am a people server just because I have to drive people a lot of places. But I take the time to go get the coffee that I now know I want. And Ross and I bond over this. We'll take the time, even if it's at 2 a.m., to play one more FIFA game.
Yeah.
Because mentally it decompresses everything from the day. It's a selfish act. Everyone's sleeping, so it's fine.
Why
But,
do you think it's selfish?
I think it would be if anyone was being ignored, but we do it at convenient times. But I do this for me.
I mean,
And I think it's a balance. I did have a long period of time where I was trying to do too much.
I can answer though the question because I've felt the selfishness late at night because everything has a cause and effect. Everything, if I stay up like one game, no damage done.
Yeah.
7 games. 7 games.
It's
now,
3 a.m.
It's 3 a.m. This is now putting an asterisk on my next day, which has a full schedule and people depending on.
Yeah.
So I have felt the selfishness. How do you avoid selfishness? How do you avoid that feeling? Because boy, can I fall in that trap, and then that also can go full circle and then go to people pleasing.
Yeah, all of it. I think it's just teaching yourself to be mindful and checking in with yourself, right? Like if you know, this is my balance, this is my middle. If you're up here and you're feeling great, and then it's an hour, 2 hours, 3, you have to tell yourself, how long do I need to feel this way?
Oof. Okay.
Right. So yeah, you want to have a nice time. Great. Do you have to go till 3? Do you have to go to 4? You know what I mean? So that's where but I think you're already doing it. You're like, oh, I have stuff to do tomorrow. But finding a way to schedule that in where you're taking that shame away and not feeling selfish, taking care of yourself, because taking care of yourself truly means that everyone's going to get the best of you. Like that is your time.
And then that's the thing that makes me feel like a farm animal, almost cursed. I was because
We
like
can say farm.
because I wanna
Monkey farm.
I want to go so hard. I want to get the most out of life, but then I forget and then by the end of it, I go, I didn't do my best. Question why?
Because you didn't take care of yourself.
Because I'm not at my best.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think
That's
a
the
lot of
balance.
people, they try so hard to give everything that they don't have their best to give because they didn't take care of themselves.
Yeah, I think too, not putting that best on there. Think about, you guys both do improv and stand up. Like if you try too hard in an improv or stand up scene, what happens?
Oh,
Boo you out.
yeah, it's
Right.
not
And
good.
so same thing with life. Like, the best time you're on stage is when you're present and you're connected. That's all you need to be.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is working.
We are ready to run through a wall right now. We just got liqueured.
Liqueured. You need to LLC that, Amy. Liqueur.
Wow.
Liqueured. Yeah, you need it. That's your gift. That you take that and run because that's perfect.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's the bumper stick.
Yeah, I recently had a massive hangover. Thank you, Bourbon Bus. If you know, you know. I was on a bus drinking bourbon with a bunch of listeners and got smashed. And then the following day, I had a bad hangover and I had this thought. And tell me if I'm tripping.
It was so bad, Amy, just so you know, that Ross texts and calls me in the morning a lot.
Yeah.
This was at like 2
AM?
p.m.
the next day.
The next day.
And he texted me on the day. I was not doing well, but I pulled it together. My question, though, is that I was so hungover, I started thinking about mental health.
Yeah.
And that'll do it.
And then I was thinking, like, I feel so sick right now. And then at the end of the hangover, I was actually kind of appreciative of this hangover because I got to I didn't feel selfish being a POS all day. I just was on the couch with my son, not doing anything. And I didn't feel bad about it because I felt bad already. Do people get mental, like, you see, hopefully this isn't too dumb and confusing. I experienced that hangover. That's what my body needed to go through to recover. Is there anything like that in the world of mental health where your body needs a rest and it needs to recover from this one thought or this anxiety? Does that exist? How good is the brain at recovering like our body does with a hangover.
In the olden days, it was like taken to the bed, or like you would get sent to the mental institution, but we don't have that now, unfortunately. You have a spa if you want. But you know what? Like, one thing I want to touch on is feeling bad about doing anything. I think that thought of shame really exhausts you. So I think even that part right there, like saying, I am hanging out, whatever you're doing at that moment is okay, and not feeling shame about it. That's the number one thing. And then as far as like taking that break, yes, in mental health, you can take medication. You can smoke weed. You can
did that.
Have sex.
We've heard it's good.
And go running. So yes, if you want to exhaust yourself, if you need to exhaust yourself to relax, that is okay. But also that you don't want to have to rely on getting wasted on the bourbon bus to take a rest. So it goes back to that shame. Don't shame yourself when you know that you need this rest in today. So what is that? What is restorative rest for you? Not just on the phone, not just watching TV. What is a restorative rest thing where you know you get filled up versus being exhausted from the bourbon bus?
One more question, then we'll
And
go
not
to
just
break.
the literal one, the bourbon bus of life.
It sounds really fun.
It does.
And I want to be on that
I
bus.
do too a little.
I want to go.
As someone who is, black belt in mental health and counseling and all of that, the older I get, the more I think the monks got it right. How dumb
Just
of
wear robes and chill.
go robe, go bald,
Balls out.
and then don't talk. You have no underwear, and you got those cool little platform shoes.
Just rake some sand.
They're like bonsai stilts.
Butt in the sand.
Yeah. Scrape away the troubles.
I just want to sweep sand and just make cool designs. Do the monks have it right?
No.
Why not?
Well, I'm an atheist. Sorry to your listeners. Anytime I say I'm an atheist, people get really scared and they run away.
I
But
gotta go.
I'm sorry. I had a lady at work one time that I talked to for like 3 years, and I told her, and then she never talked to me again. So people get really scared. So I
You should
don't.
probably stop telling people.
I know. I'm sorry. I can't. I am brutally honest, but I don't believe in any one structure. I don't believe in like one thing is the way. Again, I think it's like we're all energy and we're all moving and flowing and like finding that for yourself. So yeah, some monks have it right, but also being in a room by yourself for eternity may not be right for you.
Yeah, because that's also a prison sentence. It's also, he just described a prison sentence.
Yeah, just do the Mambo number 5 routine. Little bit of Buddhism on your side. Little bit of mental health.
We've got plenty of things to discuss. I want to ask you about the show Shrinking. I want to show, you brought in the Bible of mental health. I want to know everything about that. I still, like, as a mental health advocate, do people just walk up to you and go, I have problems, listen to me. I can't wait. We've got more discussion. Love yourself. I'm starting to love myself already. We'll be right back. Stay right there. Kind of stopped talking too early there. There it is. Buying a home is hard, and getting a great deal for it is actually even harder.
But there's a way to make it a lot easier.
You need to call That Mortgage Guy Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com, HomeLoansRadio.com. In fact, go to that website. Go to the bottom. You'll see an easy quote compare option. Type in your information and see if your deal is any good. You can quickly compare your quote with 30 other lenders. This is something that could change your 2026 and beyond. Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with That Mortgage Guy Don.
.com.
Nah, we didn't have it. Play the jingle.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com.
10, 11, 12.
Have you subscribed to Good Sauce with Ross and Joel yet? You'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's what you need to do. Just go ahead and do that. Look up Good Sauce with Ross and Joel on every podcast platform.
Look it up everywhere.
Make it happen. It's on YouTube. We have a video element.
You can watch it.
We try our best.
And if you can't watch it, you can listen to it. You can fold laundry, listen to this. Take a run, you can listen to this.
If you see us out in person, you can touch it. You can touch me.
You can touch Ross.
I shouldn't have said touch it because that insinuates something else. Welcome back to Good Sauce with Ross and Joel.
We're off to a terrible start.
My name is Ross. That is Joel.
I'm Joel.
And we have our mental health episode happening right now with a licensed mental health counselor. And boy, is that a fun beginning to a second segment.
We're here for good times and laughs. Welcome to our mental health episode.
Touch it.
Touch it. We're touching mental health today.
That's what we're touching.
That's what we meant the whole time.
And that third
Your
voice
brain, no.
is Amy LaCours, who's been known to Amy LaCure people.
Oh my
I
God.
love it, dude. I love Amy.
Incredible. Wow, that's so good.
We're here for a marketing workshop as well.
Yeah,
you. I
vanity
need it.
license plate. Here we go.
Look cured.
So you are a licensed mental health counselor. We were just talking about that. And I want to keep that discussion going. When I texted you if you were available to do this, and you said yes, and you then responded with, "I'm going to bring my DSM," or did I say it right? DSM.
Yes, the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
Okay, so this is you called it
Wow.
the Brain Bible or something
Yes, it's your
earlier.
brain
It looks like the
Bible.
Sorting Hat. Like if I hold that, it'll open to the page of what I have.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is.
You've been in the house of autism. You are on the spectrum.
Slytherin schizophrenia. Yes. So exactly what it is if you go to a mental health counselor, they will ask you questions, they'll have an assessment, and then they will give you a diagnosis within this book
Okay, so what
I
are
thought that was Scientology.
well, yeah,
as well. It's all the same.
Oh,
It's
got
all
it, got it, got it.
Organized.
right, but this book doesn't have you holding
You want one of
cans.
those?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like my boobs?
No, Scientology. They got you don't like
Boobs?
more,
Like cans of boobs?
more touch. no.
Well,
The
okay,
cans.
I did watch that movie, and there was some like science behind what they do in Scientology.
Really? Because
Yes,
I know that they hold the
neurofeedback.
cans and then
Yeah.
they like read some
That's
like
called neurofeedback, and that is actually a form that is pretty helpful to sports psychologists use that a lot.
What about the volcano that vomits aliens?
Yeah, is that where you tap out? That's where we tap out.
I'm open to anything.
Okay, cool.
Because Scientology definitely has that as their like chapter 8.
I do believe in aliens, but we don't have to go there. What is the question?
This book,
Would you be intimidated? Sorry, if there was an alien and they
Yeah.
were going through some mental health
I
struggles.
would love that. Help them.
While visiting.
Absolutely, they could come to my office.
Yes, you would do that?
100%.
In person or just virtually?
Oh, I think it would be helpful. So one of my very first jobs, I would go to the state hospital and I would work with people who had not guilty by reason of insanity. They're not aliens. That's mean. That's rude. But
Oh, this is a separate chapter.
Oh, they're out there.
they needed people didn't want to work with them, right? Because they had terrible histories, terrible crimes. But I wanted to work with them because they're the ones that need it the most. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is the aliens might be the ones that need it the most. And if I befriend those aliens, I might save humankind.
I think it's the only plan I have. Yeah. So I hope you're right.
Yeah, the only plan we have is getting these aliens Amy LaCure, baby. I can't
right.
stop. I can't
You guys
stop.
that's amazing. I'm so excited for this. So, again, what was your question?
My
Talking about the sorting book.
yeah, the
sorting
sorting
book,
book
yeah.
for mental health. You said that there was questions that they would walk in and they would ask you.
Right.
Do you know some of those questions by any chance?
Absolutely.
Joel, do you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. To
Yeah,
get
for
these
sure.
get these questions.
You got it.
Oh man, dude. All right, this is. We went from mental health discussion to mental health.
You want a full,
Period.
you want, so, in disclaimer, this is not a real diagnosis.
Okay, all right.
This is not, and I have to do that in my psych show as well. It's all for fun. It's usually truthful and real. You've been on psych.
Yep.
Is it kind of real for you?
And real fast, I will break down what this psych show is. It is back at this year's Fringe Theater Festival. It's probably one of the coolest, if not the most likable premise for a show I have ever been affiliated with, where Amy will have stand-up comedians go up, do 5 to 10 minutes and then right after the set, stay on stage and then go through a therapy session over what you said into the microphone.
So fun. Isn't it fun?
It is unbelievably fun.
Are you scared or did you have a good time?
I had a blast.
You're amazing.
I had so much fun, and then during the therapy session, though, it hit me like, oh, this is a lot more real than I thought. And I'm taking this far more serious, and it just left me going like, I should probably go see somebody.
Well, that's the whole thing that
That's the takeaway.
It's been fun. It's really been fun because I started the show selfishly because I wanted to do it for me. But every time I've done it, that's kind of happened. I've had comedians come back and be like, oh, my wife says I have that disorder. Or, oh, I didn't talk about my dad for all these years and now I'm in therapy. So the the big thing is it's been destigmatizing mental health in a really fun way that I didn't even know was going to happen.
It is a very fun way. And you know what's so weird is that stand-up comedy I've done so many times. I felt very comfortable doing that set at that show. I started to feel like I don't have clothes on during the therapy session because I was like, what happens when there's no jokes? Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
And now the back is against the wall. So then I make the choice of like, well, just be over the top honest in front of these strangers. If you were at that show, man, I was not lying by the end of it. I was.
And I always am a therapist first. So even though I care about improv and stand up and all that kind of stuff, I still am never like gratuitous about it. I don't get Jerry Springer up there unless they want to, right? Like Donald Evans wanted to get Jerry Springer up there, and he did, and he made an amazing reel out of it, and that was cool. So I ask every person that comes on, like, how real do you want to get on a scale of 0 to 10? How? And everybody usually says 10, but I can see in their face sometimes like I'll pull back if they're really.
I'm cool.
If my memory serves me correct, I started off at 10. I think I said 10, and then by the end of it, I was more like a 6. I think I took down a couple notches because I was like, I don't think I want to talk about this in front of these people.
Right.
It happened real quick.
You're not
because
supposed to take your shirt off that fast.
because it's like my answer to that question is super not funny and not very entertaining, and then I'm like, but the audience, and it was.
Well, and so I use the audience too. So the very first show, I had like 30 therapists in the audience.
Oh, wow.
And so I didn't want to look
Wow,
like
you
a.
created an actual nightmare.
Yes, for me too, because I didn't want to be wrong, right? So I was like, oh, you guys are my psych. I wanted to be like, you guys are my psych support. If I say anything wrong, please help me out. And then that started where we would get the people to ask questions of the comedians while they're up there too.
The other therapists.
Everybody in the audience asks.
Where in that audience it was all therapists.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, but what's cool about it is that they're looking at your set in a therapeutic lens. So even if you're bombing, they're like, oh, why is he talking about his wiener? You know what I mean? Like, they're like really, like, it's a whole different
That's what the
lens.
non-therapists were thinking too. Why is he talking about his wiener so much?
So you have these questions. I'm so curious. Joel, you ready to answer
Oh, yeah,
these
let's rip it.
as honestly as possible? And we'll try to keep our... How many questions is there?
So I just picked one. So all of these are different diagnoses. I just picked one that I thought maybe we could all answer these questions.
Okay.
And see if we are...
She's got it on narcissistic diabetic. Oddly specific, Amy.
We will see if we all meet criteria for this one.
Okay,
And
okay.
that's how we
Alright.
do it. Like, I would come in, I would ask you lots of questions, but these are some of the questions I would ask for this. So don't cheat.
Oh, no, I can't read. Not a reader.
She opens it up to a different chapter.
Okay, so these are there's 6 questions in this one.
Okay.
Prolonged daily use of caffeine.
Oh God, dude! Mid-sip, Joel, mid-sip of a venti iced Americano.
Second of the day.
Second of the day.
At
So
what time? What time did you get up?
6:15.
What time is it now?
Fire 30. 11:02.
Okay, all right. No judgment, and there's no judgment with these questions.
There is a judgment in the listening to the answers, though.
Judgment in any of these questions.
These are not 30 therapists listening to this right now, Amy. We bring a different crowd to this.
there's no judgment in here, but there is judgment to the listening to the answers.
No judgment. So number 1, prolonged daily use of caffeine. Okay, so that's,
Check. I can drink coffee probably sometimes all the way up to about 4 or 5 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Cut it off early.
I just recently kind of started pursuing like I gotta have more water than coffee in a day, man.
I mean, don't rush to crazy.
whoa.
All right, so ding
Water.
ding, 2
Bourbon
ding.
bus, then okay.
Yeah.
So all right, restlessness,
Restlessness. How, can we define that more?
where you can't really like just sit and hang out. Like you got to get up and do something.
I don't have that one.
I got that one.
Got that one?
I
Okay.
got that one because of that selfishness. Like I'm so afraid of like if it wasn't for that hangover taking me out for the day,
Right.
I would have felt bad at that rate being completely sober and not going through a sickness.
Nervousness.
No.
Nah, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say I don't have.
Excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel excitement.
Insomnia.
I had insomnia for a decade, and
Really?
it just in the last 5 years.
How'd you fix it? Did you fix it?
I got married to my wife.
Oh, that's all you needed?
Apparently, I had been not sleeping for the entirety of my child's lives
Wow.
until I met my wife.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's great. Great sleeper
Incredible.
too.
Is she?
Yeah, she was like, "You need to go to sleep. I need to sleep. You're gonna sleep too."
That's incredible.
She's like, "Go to sleep," and I kind of just did, and then now I need it.
That's incredible.
I guess I needed it the whole time, but
Yeah.
I feel like my poor sleep schedule isn't from. I wish I could be like, oh, man, I'm just sad. It's because I'm being irresponsible. Every time I get a bad night of sleep, it's not from like, oh, the night terrors. Oh, these bad thoughts won't leave my brain. It's because like I gotta level up one more time because this Diablo 2 character ain't gonna reach level 92 by himself.
oh man, I got called out at work, which also was a thing. I turned a script in at 4 a.m. And the person I emailed it to asked me why. He's like, "Do you set it to do that? So it's like on a different day?" And I was like, "No, that's when I finised the script."
See, I hate when people call that out though. Like, let me live my life.
Yeah, I'm like,
Do
why
I
are
need
you
a time
judging? I
police?
was like, I have children.
That judgment drives me, and that's one thing is like I hate that kind of judgment. Like, my husband wakes up at 2 a.m. Who cares? Who cares? He walks around the house like a ghost. I don't care. Let him live his life.
Let
you know
him
what?
front
Like,
scratch in the kitchen. let him scratch.
Front scratch is wild.
It happens, man.
who
Us dudes
cares?
be front scratching. It's
Let everybody
whatever.
live. Like back in the olden days, we had 2 sleeps. Let us 2 sleeps. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing is we're all saying what we should be doing and not be doing, and I don't believe that. If you want a 3 a.m. freaking email, you 3 a.m. email.
Thank you.
Now your thing
Oh God.
with you've mentioned your gaming.
yeah.
That I've heard some stuff with that you're not able to necessarily stop when you want to with the gaming.
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of like a when in Rome. Once the thing starts and I hit a certain like tier, I'm like, God, yeah, I can melt some hours away.
And
here.
then the time just kind of goes away and you don't know like what time it is and stuff like that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Now there isn't a full diagnosis for gaming disorder yet. They are working on that.
It's on its way.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, especially nowadays with like Roblox and all that kind of stuff.
I think our boy has GD.
I don't. Maybe.
So that's a theme there. And again, it's when you're doing something that you don't want to do it because it's an addiction.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with caffeine as I have. That's why we're going through this caffeine one.
Stupid Animal Crossing.
I love it so
It's so,
How did you know? Did I talk to you about this?
No. I'm super into it. My
I'm
wife.
obsessed
and I,
with it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll
Is
get
that
your
the ones where they hop?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't do it. You crazy kids.
I
I have an abacus I play with. Slide the beads. So fun.
I don't play games. I don't play games. I don't. I don't.
I don't play games.
I don't play.
I
any.
live them.
Let's go. I started playing Animal Crossing during the pandemic because I loved how it followed the time.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh, I can go to a party here. I love it.
And Animal Crossing, for people who don't know, is just like a cozy game where there is no confrontation. You are farming. You are making your island prettier over and over and over.
No
again.
tasks. Like, I don't want to do anything in my game. I tried to play Zelda and I was like, I don't want to do these tasks.
Yeah, this feels like work.
I don't want to be scared by goblins. I just want to walk and pick my fruit and sit on my little toilet and have a good time.
Have you seen the virtual pressure washer?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one's pretty nice.
Have you played that one?
No, again, I don't
you're
really do
gamer.
this. I have a pressure washer
There
in real life.
to Joel's point, there is a pressure washer video game that simulates power washing, and it has hit hard.
Yeah.
Way harder than anybody thought. And because people enjoy this relaxation.
I just wonder how many of those people have real dirty garages.
Yeah.
Like, get out there, guys.
Is
So we've
that-
diagnosed Ross has junior bacon gaming disorder.
Maybe if when it comes into fashion, yes. Any gastrointestinal disturbances?
I mean,
I mean, more than the normal guy. We roll the windows down when we fart in the car. but-
Nice. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I mean, I drink Ollipops
Yeah.
to make sure that things are leaving my body, that I
That's
have
good.
my daily exorcism.
Any
think
muscle
we're no.
twitching? Do you have muscle twitching?
I've had muscle twitching.
You've got most of these, Ross. Rambling, flow of thought and speech.
It's a double yes, I think.
I hope not, because we do a podcast. Hopefully, it's not that bad.
Isn't a podcast just what she described?
You you might have a podcast.
Check.
That is your disorder, a podcast disorder. So that disorder.
Podcast disorder is the name of this episode.
A lot of white men have podcast
I
disorders.
think so. And some of them don't have podcasts.
What's the cure for PD?
I got PD, GD.
GD, PD. I don't give a GD about the PD.
No BS. So you might have a caffeine-related disorder.
A caffeine-related disorder.
Now, here's the thing about caffeine-related disorders. They don't have dependency in here, which they should, but I feel like big business keeps that out of their Starbucks. So I would say most of us probably have a dependence on caffeine, even though that you can't get a diagnosis full of that.
Oh man,
Have you watched anybody that you've worked with cut caffeine and then seen what happened? I just wonder.
Oh, yeah. Always.
What was it like?
Better.
Was it?
Yeah, and I've quit caffeine, I don't know, 15, 20 times, and it takes 3 full weeks to get out of your system.
Whoa.
Your brain is still detoxing after 3 weeks at least. So it's not like you can just
At
quit and
least.
feel better tomorrow. It takes a long time, and it's a lot of behavioral things you have to think through. And so for me, I don't feel good until like a month after I quit caffeine. But once I quit it, I do feel very, very good. I feel very clear-headed. I'm not, I sleep better.
Whoa.
And then I have seen that with my clients as well, because some people come in like, oh, I have anxiety. But also if they've had 6 coffees, they probably don't have anxiety. They probably have caffeine disorder.
Do we?
Yeah.
So real
I've not done that one. I try to quit everything that's borderline good, bad, depending on who you ask, for a month. Whenever.
Right.
Like I was just like, I'm not going to do that for a month. I'm not going to do this for a month. Other than my wife and kids, everything else pretty much has gotten a month off.
Right.
But I've never done it with caffeine.
It's very hard. And see, that's a tell, right? Like,
It is a tell. Because all the other ones were like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
and they treat it like it's like, oh, this is such a fun little mug of fun. But no, it's a drug, and we're all addicted to it. And I love it. My thing is always, I'll get off of it, and then a seasonal drink will come.
A seasonal drink is the
See,
end of it.
I am a basic lady when it comes to that. I love a seasonal drink, and it gets me every time. And I'm all, for me, I'm like, oh, I'll have one, and then I'm off. I'm on or off the wagon
Yeah,
or
nothing
whatever.
like a pumpkin spice gateway drug.
Every time, every year.
You touched on something that was kind of a huge, I don't know, an eye-opening thing for me is that you were talking about how maybe these massive coffee corporations will also go out of the way. They're like coffee lobbyists.
Oh, they lobby these, yeah.
Really?
All big business lobbies, all of these things.
And would you say that every big business, I mean, that's not just coffee then. I mean, cigarettes also have the greatest track record of
Yes.
going, they're healthy. What are you? They're smooth for your throat.
Right, and same thing, there's a tobacco use disorder in here, but it's not really touched upon much. And so, yeah, like all of medical science is big business and white men, unfortunately. We're working through that, so you have to think about that when you are using this. It's like you have to use it with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
And again, knowing yourself. You know that you can't be off caffeine, so that is what you know, even though
I just haven't been. I can.
even though it's not a diagnosis. And the hard part too is when you go to a doctor or a mental health therapist, they can't give you some diagnosis sometimes because it's not even in here, even though you
Right.
know exists. So that's the hard part about that.
And when did this book come out? And is it still looked at as kind of the holy grail? This is the DSM-5?
Yeah, so the first one came out in the 70s, and then now this is the 5th edition, and then there's like 2 more editions after this one, actually. So this isn't the newest one.
Does the newest one have all the stuff Ross has? Like,
Yeah.
so you
It
gotta do-
might. We'll have to look on it. It might.
You read the 7th edition and it's like chapter 4, drink Starbucks.
Yeah.
It just like it's gotten completely bought out.
Play video games, do a podcast, drink Starbucks. So this is more mental health based. Now, when you go to a doctor, like a mental or a physical doctor, they have a different book they use, and theirs is more general than ours. It's called the ICD, and theirs has like everything, including like broken femur and then depression. Like theirs is a little more general. This one has all these different like criteria and extra words that tell you.
Man, all right. Well, I think I failed that questionnaire.
No, there's no failure.
Yeah, there's no
here.
failure.
There's no
No, there's
failure.
no failure. And it is not, when you find out about your mental health, it is not a stigma. It is, okay, I have this. Is this something that I want to work on? That's it.
So you were talking about a lot of people walking in going like, I have an anxiety. And
Right.
then your response is like, how many coffees have you had, right?
How many cigarettes? Because I was a big smoker too. How many cigarettes? How many coffees? How many drinks? Let's deal with that first if we can.
Well, why do
That is insane because I
do
took
they-
October completely off of alcohol.
Yeah.
But someone at work caught me brewing coffee at like 7:00 at night.
Yeah.
And called me out on it. And they were like, geez, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm not even drinking. I'm not drinking.
You go straight Gollum over the ring.
Yeah, and
You go
and
Bilbo.
Yeah, I drank like 3 sips of it and then poured the rest of the pot out. And they were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know.
I'm proving a point because you came at me.
None of this is beer."
It's true.
What?
It is true. And it's like understanding what your baseline is can be really hard if you grew up doing all that. Like I grew up drinking at like 13. So I don't even know what my baseline was until like late 20s when I quit everything. And you don't know that. So sometimes it is helpful to, and if you're on medicine, there's just so many things. It is all science within your body. Right. So what is the chemistry inside your body? What is your baseline? It's different for each person. You have to find that out. And you might not know that if you're drinking a lot of caffeine.
And is the only way to find out your baseline is with simple life experiences of just trying different things and then seeing, if you're happy by the end of it.
I think one helpful thing, people don't like this, is like guided journaling, because when you like truly like take track of, okay, today I feel this way because of this, that can be really helpful. And then also therapy, going to therapy.
Absolutely.
Podcasting with your buds, talking
Yep.
about these type of things.
Keep in mind, we are not therapists.
But you are, though, because you know each other so well that you're able to call each other on these type of things.
That's true.
Community, improv. I feel like improv is the same, not the same, but almost the same as like group therapy, because you're actually working through emotions on stage.
Yeah, and you can tell too. I've done some shows where nobody said divorce in the suggestions. All of a sudden, you're on stage and these 2 squirrels are getting divorced. Like, wow, we are talking about nut custody pretty hard up here.
This is the 4th scene with divorce.
My goodness.
Let's go with dildo instead.
Speaking of which, no, I do have a question though, and this one might hit. So
Every scene's about heartbreak.
I was told that I was like, yeah, the suggestions are like, where's a place where someone would get divorced? Okay, this divorce scene will be in
What's a perfect
coffee shop.
size? What's the size of that? Something you could have a divorce in?
So and I don't want to even say that there is a stigma around therapy or mental health, but
I will absolutely say that there is.
there
People
definitely
people
used
are
to be
terrified
more
of
of
me.
one.
They're scared of me. They're scared
Totally.
all the time.
But it is incredibly beneficial, and I speak from experience. At the lowest of lows I've experienced, that is literally the reason that I rebounded, just because I needed it.
What
Going to therapy. For the
Really?
first time ever, and I was in my early 30s. I hit a
This
point.
is the first I've ever heard of a
Yeah.
great success. I did not know that.
I'd never been, and not even for a family reason. Like I mentioned, my dad passed away when I was a baby, and my mother had told me, she was like, "Well, my therapist saved me, got me through all of that." She was the age that I was when I hit a bottom, when her husband died, and she had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So that's heavy. And she has done an amazing job. So we shout out our wives and mothers all the time.
Every episode.
Stronger machines, these women. But I'm a weak man, and I hit mine based on no death or anything, just life. And therapy just changed my entire perspective on existence.
Love that.
Of those things that you said. I was comparing everything to what I thought I was supposed to be doing. I was judging.
Don't gloss over that. Say that one more again for the people in the back.
Yeah,
I was comparing. What was it?
everything that I did to what I thought I should be doing. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be mowing the lawn. I shouldn't be
That shame.
doing that. I shouldn't be going to bed. I should stay up and write some scripts.
And
because
you
I'm
were-
supposed to be a writer.
And you said 31.
I was 31, 32 and I hit that.
That's when it hit me, October 2020.
Look at that.
I think we just hit puberty late, Ross. But
yeah.
but I was so clueless about how to do tomorrow that I went to therapy. And I remember unloading, like I think I did in one breath 10 minutes of opposite of comedy. And the therapist just said, "Geez, I bet that's really hard." And I just was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that they agreed that was a lot. I thought it was my fault.
Yeah.
I should be able to do this. Why am I not able to be okay? Like for the first time in 3 decades, I usually could fake it if the happiness and the calm wasn't real. But for the first time, I was just like, I can't even drive down the street.
Yeah.
I am done.
Wow.
And I've since had, I think, 2 more therapists. That was a whole nother thing of realizing to find the right one, not just any therapist.
Yeah, just find anyone. You have to find the right one. They could do harm, actually.
Totally. And being willing to advocate for myself
Yep.
and find the words to say, this isn't working out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
And they were fine. They were like, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
No worries.
that's their job.
I thought that it was going to be like, well, it's your fault. And you're bad.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know. I just
Yeah.
didn't know. And I was a
Yeah.
30-something-year-old man
Yeah,
feeling like a child
Right.
in a setting. And, you know, it's like you take a kid to the dentist and they're looking at the stuff on the walls. They're like, are they going to hurt me?
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
And
at
then what's
30.
what's funny, not funny, but tell me if I'll go therapist.
Yeah.
Is that feeling still like you're like, I don't want to hurt. I got to say no, this isn't working for me, but there's still a part of it. They're like, to me, if I'm in that scenario, it's because of my people pleasing muscle
Yes.
flexing, going like, I don't want. I mean, to be honest with you, is a huge reason why before the marriage that I'm in now, and I think a lot of people do this. They stay in relationships that they don't really want to be in because of the people pleasing aspect, and there's never a good time to say goodbye, and that you're about to hurt someone that you still care for, but you're finally prioritize yourself.
Oh, for sure. And with a therapist too, I had a friend at the time. I didn't know how to quote unquote break up with this therapist, but I changed. I was in a different place later and I needed different things. I wanted to talk about different things. It wasn't just trauma that was current. I was like, well, now I kind of want to unpack some other stuff. And so I switched. But a friend of mine said, he goes, well, do you work out at a gym if they don't have the machines you like? I was like, no. And he goes, well,
It's perfect.
why would you go to the mental gym to the wrong one? Just
Right.
figure it out.
So here's the
love that.
the show Shrinking really gave me
Love
this
it.
question. I'm
So
so
good.
happy that you love the show Shrinking because
good.
it made me think, who watches The Watchmen? Where do the therapists go?
Who makes sure the cops aren't speeding?
Yeah, like
Who's giving drugs to the drug dealers?
yeah, like I never even thought about what a therapist may go through. Like, they don't just talk to themselves in the mirror. Do therapists also see therapists?
Absolutely. I would say every person, think of therapy like going to the dentist. It should be that destigmatized. Every single person could use therapy at some time. Having a person that is objective, that is there and trained to understand how to interact with you in a way that's not judgmental, that's not like gonna sway you in a certain way. Every single person should go to therapy sometime in their life. Everybody. And as a therapist, you actually get a lot of support because as you're going through your master's and your internship, you have peers that mentor you, and so you have someone always to talk to about it. And then when I was at the therapy department, there was like 20 of us, and we're all therapists, and we're all there for each other and very supportive.
The therapy department. I like to imagine you guys are just in aisles.
Just come and pick us up off the shelf, absolutely. But I love
Depression's on 7, by the way. Depression's on 7.
And 12 and 17.
But I love that. I worked at Lakeside over in West Colonial for a lot of years in community mental health, and it was great because we would all go to each other's offices. We would all talk. It was mostly women. No offense to male therapists, but it was a very communal, fun space,
Yeah.
and I loved it, and I miss it. So I will go back to being a therapist when my kid's a little bit bigger. I stopped being a therapist because I had a kid and I couldn't mentally like do both
Yeah.
well. Because like I don't like to just show up and be like, tell me about your. I really do want to be there and
Fill out this questionnaire.
yeah, I just put a lot into it, and so when she was about 3 or 4, I ended up. Now I work in instructional design for mental health, and I still do mental health, but I miss that. I miss having like all these therapists to go to and call anytime, day or night,
There's got to be an amazing amount of I'm allowed to feel how I feel
constantly
with that.
Yes,
You know?
and like they'll call you on it too. Like, hey, you haven't taken a break. Like we're all like self-care like warriors. Like, hey, you didn't
The
take a lunch.
emotional union.
Yes, exactly.
We're late on a break.
Exactly. Let's go. You didn't drink your water. You didn't do the. You know
You're
what
in
I mean?
penalty.
in the best kind of way. And so I definitely, but I work with a lot of therapists still. And even in my psych show, I have therapists around. I love that energy. I love people that like just like seeing other people happy.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So if somebody's listening to this, they're
going
and
through
they've
it.
never been ever.
Right.
I have 2 questions for you about that. 2-pronged. One, what are good first steps in your opinion? Not worrying about insurance or any of that stuff. Most insurance will let you go see a therapist for like 10 times before you have to
Right, yeah.
pay for it. But also,
Like the opposite of a punch card.
yeah. Well, it's needed too, because like sometimes it's not the right fit or whatever. But also, sometimes you come from a setting where therapy is not okay. Mm-hmm. How would you suggest that somebody who's new to therapy addresses it or doesn't with their immediate family?
Oh, how do they talk to their family about it?
Or mention that it's happening, or try, is that, I just, that's an area that I've never even heard discussed, but it's interesting to me.
Like if you wanted to go and you didn't want to tell, and you wanted to tell your wife or like
your wife or
parent.
your mom or your dad or anybody.
I think, you know, especially if it's like your mom or dad, like it's your own personal journey and you don't have to tell them. If it's your spouse, I think it is important to say, hey, I'm not feeling good and I need to go talk to somebody about it. And if you feel weird about that, I'm sorry, I love you.
Yeah.
Right. And how to find a good therapist is really think about your first symptoms of what you're experiencing. So if you are feeling anxious or you're feeling issues with your divorce, or really, you can Google the symptoms that you have and look for a therapist that treats that specifically. That's your best bet, right? So if you have eating issues, like eating disorder, if you can go to an eating disorder clinic, that's your best bet. Or if you know you might be on the spectrum, like autism spectrum, go to a place that specifies in it. It's going to save you a lot of time versus going to like your primary care doctor and then going here and then there. That's going to save you time.
Yes,
However, if you don't feel safe doing that, you can go to your primary care doctor and be like, hey, you know, I'm feeling bummed out. Or like, you know, I got my ADHD diagnosis from my primary care doctor because he's like, whoa. You know what I mean? So if you're not feeling comfortable yet to even go in the mental health space, you can do it in the physical health space first, and then they can give you a referral.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. And I will say to everybody, it's worth it. It's the same thing as trying the gym for the first time or anything for yourself. Even if you go, oh, not for me, then at least you'll know you will have done
Right,
it.
and-
Because it took me, like I said, 10 minutes on the first visit
Yep.
to feel, oh, I didn't know that this is what I needed because
Right.
I'd never been in this space before, but I couldn't believe it because of that people pleasing. I didn't have anyone in my life that I was willing to tell the truth to.
Wow.
Fully.
And the thing is like if it doesn't feel good for that first one, it is okay to go to a different one.
Yeah.
Just like a golf pro. Like you know, like if you go to a person that you know you don't feel comfortable doing golf with them, then you're gonna go to the different golf guy. Like that's okay. And as a therapist, I always say I want you to be able to live without me. My goal is to get you well enough to where you don't need to see me anymore. And so you can go out there and live your life and be free.
And sometimes it's a gender thing too, because you mentioned that I could not listen to a guy comment on my mental health.
That's how my
he
husband
was
was,
qualified. He was a great therapist.
Just wasn't
but he
comfortable.
told me it was like him telling me to stop drinking coffee. I was like, dude, get lost.
Right. It didn't work.
Go,
It didn't work.
bro. You suck.
Yeah.
And then a woman is like, you should stop drinking coffee. I'm like, you have a great point. I'm so sorry.
I just had I had an experience like that. I have some online therapy that I was gonna do. I was gonna take that, and then she was really rude and kind of mean. And I'm trying to lose weight, and then I was like, she's like, how do you feel about food? I was like, well, I kind of hate it because I'm kind of addicted to it. And she's like, that doesn't check out. If you hate it, you'd be skinny.
Yeah, oh my God.
And like you know, as a therapist, I try not to be judgmental of other therapists, but I was like, this lady's weird. So it didn't work.
You're
for
not like
me.
therapist arrest.
So then you know what you say back to him? You go like, now why would you say that?
Right.
Yeah. Now then you flip the therapy and go, what in your history made you cause you to say such a barbed question right back?
That's when you hear. There's two lightsabers in the fight now.
Yeah. And they're both like unique colors that we've never seen before, like
Yeah.
teal and magenta.
I don't know my father.
I would think one of the worst parts about being a therapist or anything in the field of mental health is people like me. I've had to bite my tongue every time I've seen you out in public to be like, hey, do you just have 10 minutes? I just want to word vomit depression.
I just thought you didn't
stuff.
like me, Ross.
Oh no! It's always been me trying to be aware of like.
Always do.
Can I talk to you in the parking lot for like 5 minutes?
Yes, please
Yeah,
do. Please
like
do.
I've always bit my tongue on that because like we're at a show or something.
Yeah,
but
I bite my tongue because you guys are fancy and famous, and I'm too scared to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't want to walk up.
I don't want to be a nerd. I don't be like, remember that one time you did that Obama sketch and it was so cool? And I don't do too.
There were also some underlying issues in there. So
There's so much good stuff in there. And I wanted to text you about doing some therapy sketches one day, but I didn't want to bother you.
Well, now we have crossed that
Okay.
threshold.
Okay,
It's
bother-
so funny is that you're like, I don't want to talk to him. He's busy. And I'm more like, I don't want to talk to her because I'm going to say some really dark stuff. And I don't know if we're that close
and
yet.
I'm like, how much coffee is too much? Let's get back to this coffee.
None, never too much.
And also, just because we're getting on the end here, your show, it's happening again.
Yes.
At this year's Orlando Fringe Festival.
And I already told her that you're doing it.
And I'm going to do it, apparently.
Yeah, you're doing it.
It's
dude.
all
You've got
consensual.
to.
It's all
can't wait.
consensual, but yes, I would.
No,
love
I'm
to.
in.
There's 3 comedians for each show. Think about who the other person you would like to do it with you, because you do group therapy at the end too. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, it's us?
So-
and one more?
Yeah.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
get an individual therapy session on stage in front of an audience, and then at
Amazing.
the end, you get everyone
All
gets brought up.
consensual. Well, you don't have
Yeah.
to say yes right now.
Oh,
Anytime
I'm saying
someone
yes
tells
for
me
him.
something is consensual twice, I know it's not.
It's just a tip, okay? It's fine. So think about who else you want for that third one, and yeah, I would absolutely. So yeah, Psych comedy, a diagnostic stand-up show is going to be at Fringe in May.
Great.
I have 4 shows at the Yellow venue, and I can't book it yet because I don't have my dates yet. I'll
Yes.
have my dates in
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Okay, you know how that goes. So I'll get March 27th. I'll have the dates, and then I'll give you guys first pick of if you can do those dates, and then I'll probably do like James Yon again. I try to like give it a nice mix. I try to have like lots of different vibes and energy.
It works. It's such a brilliant
Thank
idea
you.
for a show. Talking about the stigma behind mental health, and then we'll get out of here because we will put a heroic effort in of shattering it. Joel, this is probably arguably the most vulnerable you've been on Good Sauce or in front of a microphone. So the first thing I want to say is thank you.
Of course.
And that's kind of my point of going, that's also me breaking the stigma of that. It's such a good thing. That it made me. I can't wait to edit this pod to look back on
You're
look
gonna
at my
cut all that.
look at my face going, really? Because that was me learning something about you right there,
love
and that's invited in our friendship, and to all the people listening, that can also be you as well. I know you have someone close enough that you can lean on, and if you don't feel that way, I would say you're actually you're wrong.
And also, you and I have, Ross and I call each other when it's the bad day.
Right.
Often.
Yeah.
But there are days that are different. And that was where I was at. Where it wasn't, we weren't that close.
Yeah, we
back
weren't
then,
friends.
But there wasn't anybody that I was willing to
Right.
talk to that way. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh, I'm surrounded and I feel completely alone.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. And so that's who I'm talking to. If that's your feeling, you're not, I promise.
Yeah.
You are absolutely not. And
And you don't have to get to that point either.
No,
Right?
no.
Like again, it can be like going to get your car tuned up.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think I don't want to gender this, but I think a lot of guys aren't necessarily allowed to talk about their emotions or to even say that they're feeling a certain way or it's like a weakness. Like my husband's kind of the same way. Like he's been friends with his best friend for like 30 years, and I'll be like, "Do you know if he was ever sad?" I'll be like, "I don't know." You know, like the fact that y'all have known each other that long and haven't even been able to talk about it with each other, that's the norm. That's the norm thing for a lot of men. Like you wouldn't go like, hey, I'm feeling depressed today and I need a little self-time, right? Where women can kind of have that space a little more than men a lot of times.
Do you think what would be? How's this for a question?
Yeah.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
It's an op-ed of an answer. What was the worst decade for like men's mental health? And call it from in the last 100 so odd years.
I think the 70s were okay because they had like the free love and they were finally able to like think about mental health.
They were hippy dippy, and
Right.
then
also
al-
hallucinogens.
Hallucinogens,
Also,
drugs.
on the flip side of that, though, you also, I mean, that's the constituents here in the States. Not saying that the soldiers weren't, but those soldiers coming
Oh,
back from Nam.
Nam?
With the 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah. Oh, this would be such a good full podcast. All of the men's mental health throughout the ages. I think honestly, probably like the 50s because you had no outlet. You had to be one certain kind of way. You could not say you were sad. You wouldn't even know what that word meant. So I think, and
Isn't that funny?
you know,
No, I think that's such a funny answer of the 50s because the 50s is also looked at
Right at the end of the war.
is looked at as like this utopia of. I mean,
Nobody talked about their sad stuff.
Yeah, and they all just
look at
came
that.
back from, the South Pacific or Germany where they saw the worst thing ever, and then they're like, "You want a free house?
Yeah,
Just don't talk about it.
Don't talk
house?
about it forever.
Stop talking about it.
Don't talk to your wife. Don't talk to your friend.
No,
Never.
shut up.
Here's this cool toaster. Yeah, this is brand new technology. You're gonna love it.
Drive
And
your car, you little sissy. Like it's like they weren't allowed to talk about it. And it wasn't even a vernacular for, especially in America. In other countries, it's different. But there wasn't even a conversation about it. So I think, and that's where you see. So the people that are the boomers now, who are like, oh, these kids are soft or whatever. It's no, they just are able to communicate what's actually happening inside their brains, and they didn't have that. So I would say, yeah, maybe the 50s.
I saw an incredible moment. I was working the other day, and I saw a kid, and I was like, "How you doing?" And he just holds his hand up, and he goes, "Give me a second. I'm autistic."
I love that.
And I just stood there, and he goes, "Sorry." And I said, "I've got nowhere to be."
Yeah,
And it was a while, and then he goes, "I'm good." And it was such a like cool moment because he knew to ask for what he needed.
That's it.
And I was like,
And that's
wonderful.
love. And what I say in my house, I say boundaries are love. Communication is love, right? Being able to communicate what you need is intimacy and love. And looking at it that way versus like, oh, I need this or I'm needy or I'm sad. No, I'm literally giving you the manual of how to interact with me, and that's telling you how to know me.
I've been saying this on stage now for a while now because we had a topic on the radio years ago, and I thought it was so true, and I still believe in it, is that if you're not arguing in your marriage or deep, serious relationship, I don't think it's going to work out. And if you're not arguing for years and years, someone will probably get murdered.
Or have a heart attack.
Someone's going to just snap because they haven't been themselves
Right.
for 25 years.
Like, what is that? What's the point?
Yeah.
Like,
And-
why have people around you if you can't communicate with them and they don't see you, right? And that's the whole purpose, is just knowing yourself to be able to communicate that. And it's a manual. It's not sad. It's not good or bad. It's a manual.
And I'll answer that question for, I think, a lot of it, what's the point of that? There is a point, and it's not a good point. And it goes back to that people pleasing. It's this defense mechanism to keep things afloat at the cost of me being myself. And there's a balance to that. I'm not going to talk to Joel the same way I talk to my mom, but that's not me being different. I'm not changing my moral compass. It's just respect and human respect. But there is that balance of, all of a sudden you are a completely different person, and to keep an eye out on that people pleasing. Amy, I can't thank you enough.
For having me.
Yes, and go see Amy's show at the Fringe. Also, I will be performing with Colin Mockery from Whose Lines It Anyway on a Fringe fundraiser April 6th. Go to orlandofringe.org for tickets. A shout out to our wives and mothers. And as always, thank you to injury attorney Mo DeWitt.
All of our sponsors, Marion Theater, April 11th is where I will be out in Ocala.
Get it.
Those tickets are live on rosscomedy.com. Amy, thank you so much.
You.
If we're not liqueured, we're on the way.
Love it.
That's episode 99. Go love your brain. Hey, it's Ross here. I hear this all the time. I can't afford to call a lawyer. Not true. With Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt at justcallmo.com, the call is free, the advice is free, and you don't pay a nickel unless you win your case.
Joel here. I'm no attorney, but that sounds pretty good. So if you're ever unsure after an accident, just make the call. It costs nothing. Injured on the go?
Just call Mo. JustCallMo.com.
.com or 1-800-CALL-MO.